In April of 2000, Janet Acosta was on her lunch break, sitting in her car in Miami reading a book, when a man carjacked her, beat her, robbed her, and strangled her. Late today, the state of Florida gave that man a lethal injection, the 11th person executed in the United States this year.
Oklahoma's chief law enforcement officer oversees executions in his state. He may have saved the life of a death row inmate.
I believed it my duty to look at every person on death row.
As Attorney General of Oklahoma, Gentner Drummond has personally attended 9 executions. Since taking office, he's approved of every death row case in the state except one.
And when I stumbled across Richard Glossip, it was different. This is an individual who didn't murder the victim.
Richard Glossip was convicted in the 1997 murder of a man who had been beaten to death. When Attorney General Drummond examined the case, he learned the state knew its key witness lied during Glossip's trial. Did you think maybe this guy's not guilty?
I think by Mr. Glossip's own testimony, he's guilty of at least accessory after the fact. So he's guilty, but is he guilty of murder? That was the question.
Drummond discovered that the state withheld evidence during the trial 27 years ago, so he asked his state's criminal appeals court to intervene. What case did you make to the highest court here in the state?
I confessed error by the state and said we had information that we didn't disclose that could have had a material impact on the outcome, and therefore we would ask that Mr. Glossip be afforded a new trial.
But Drummond's appeal was denied. So what are you thinking at that point?
I anticipated that Mr. Glossip would seek appeal to the United States Supreme Court, and we joined in that effort.
Joined in that effort. The Attorney General of Oklahoma, red state, pro-death penalty state, appealing this case to the Supreme Court.
Well, no, it's not a very popular position for a Republican Attorney General. But the mission of my office is not to protect the prosecutor. My mission is to seek justice.
Now it's up to the district attorney and Drummond to decide his fate.
And I do not want to be culpable in executing somebody who is innocent.
But this can't be the only case where there's been a mistake.
I think empirically we know statistically that's correct, but not under my watch.
So, Maurice, where do things go next?
Well, the Attorney General and prosecutors say they're going to make up their mind in the next 4 or 5 weeks, either retry Richard Glossip or come up with some kind of plea deal in the case. So we'll see.
You know, I was struck. Does Attorney General Drummond, does he believe in the death penalty himself, personally?
I asked him several times, and he said, doesn't matter. I didn't know what that meant, but I asked him several times. He kept saying, it doesn't matter. I enforce the laws of the state. He is, by the way, running for governor, Ruby Red, Oklahoma. We'll see where it goes.